Split Second Velocity, an arcade racing game that was released on the PS3 and Xbox 360 consoles on May the 18th of 2010. It was later added to PSP and PC later in its lifetime. You see your own world crumble in your view as you drive through the ashes in the wake of a control tower that has just been taken down. You can decide the fate of your opponents at just the tip of your fingers. Not only that, you will be taken into a world of the unknown. Just, what are you doing here in the so-called City of Life, when in fact it is desolate and barren, with you and the other racers wondering the same thing. You might think you're here to race, but it goes beyond your world behind the steering wheel. More than what meets the eye, more than what us, mere mortals, could even comprehend. This is Mr. Arrow 250. The Split Second Discord and I have compiled some topics and game information in order to create the first dedicated iceberg to this wonderful, explosive, yet mysterious masterpiece that is called Split Second. As I discuss the topics in this iceberg, I advise you to strap yourself in and take a ride with me as we tread and dive deep into the Split Second Iceberg for the very first time. Before we get started, I'd take the batteries out of your remote detonator if I were you. This iceberg video will be split into 6 parts, with each delving into their 6 respective tiers, from the tip to deep within the waters. We shall kick off part 1 with tier 1. The term rubberbanding is a technique that game developers use in racing games that allows the AI opponents to catch up to you if you are a certain distance away from them, to balance difficulty curves when playing. It is most common in Split Second, especially after the start of the second lap. It is more prevalent in elite races as either Raptor or Vixen will somehow catch up to you and speed away, leaving you in their dust, but only for a while. Ah yes, the Firestorm. If you've played the game for just a couple of days, you will know about the Firestorm. The car that makes almost every car look like weak children when on the track. Its drifting capabilities allow it to reach top speed and even set world records in detonator mode. Sure, it may cost you a position or two if you hit a curb within city limits, but it has gained quite the reputation in the game's lifespan. Could you ever tame this beast if you were put behind the wheel of this animal? Quarry is the game's first DLC where it includes a track far, far away from the city of Velocity. It is packed full of explosive fun, shockwaves from various equipment, and the star of the show, the Bucket Wheel. This was released in the Onslaught pack on November 2nd, 2010, just almost 5 months after the game was released. This refers to multiplayer mode, where if you're in a public lobby and you become first, you will indeed become slower. This is similar to the catch-up option in GTA Online. No matter how good you drive, you will be punished with loss of power. However, if you are in last place, this is quite the opposite. Also, the time it takes to fill up your power meter is increased significantly. Originally FXX Rickson, he is quite the notable figure in the community. In his journey, he's released unique content regarding beta aspects of the game, along with the only person to port the DLC content from console to PC, as PC was never supported with DLC. Alongside that, he's made a few videos showcasing beta aspects into the final game, along with footage from the early days of Split Second 2 before it got cancelled. His channel link will be in the description if you want to take a look at some of the videos that he has. Indeed, the jack of all trades, using these environmental beasts, can sway the outcome of a race for better or for worse. Just don't get caught up in its danger zone, or you'll be toast. Route changes are a fundamental mechanic that players can utilize by activation of a prompt that appears on structures when their power meter is full. Activating one will lead you on a different route, leaving the battered corpses of your enemies behind you. Why yes, the tutorial, the infamous tutorial stage. After you take the written test, you will display your skills on a closed circuit looking at the construction of what will become velocity. Fun fact, did you know that the tutorial circuit itself is actually a survival track? Not accessible by any means, of course, but with the use of trainers, you can make this a possibility. Enders is another notable figure within the community. He focuses more on the beta aspects of the game and even has posted beta content that was found within the game's beta files over the course of the game's development. These include sounds that never made it into the final release, along with short movies and some of the beta soundtrack. If you want to check this man's content out, his channel link will also be in the description below. These two gentlemen are the voices you hear during the progression of the game, with Joseph May talking you through the tutorial and warning you of the chaos in the end, and Hill hyping up each episode with his content that will shake even the strongest of chassis.
Do enough out there to impress me and you'll secure your spot in the premiere episode of the new season of Split Second. There's going to be billions watching the show around the world, so we need to make sure you can handle yourself behind the wheel.
Over the next 12 exciting episodes, contestants from around the world will battle it out on the track with the aim of qualifying for the chance to race the Split Second Elite.
Besides consoles, Split Second has found its way home with PSP and iPhone. What's noted is that the content that it includes. PSP follows aspects of the beta version, including power plays that will disable a console, while the iPhone version has a different taste in track designs and locations, some of which were taken from way back in the early days of development for the game itself on console version. Both versions are similar, having qualities like displaying the beta liveries and the car models from the beginning stages of the game's life. Did you know that on the PSP version of Survival, you can actually drive the truck that once tormented you with endless barrels of destruction? This game mode is called Keep On Trucking. Weird. It makes you wonder why it was never included in the console versions. Only one could dream. Now that I've given you the basic information on the game itself, in part 2, we will dive deeper into the waters, starting with Tier 2. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for that, as I will uncover the information on what most players of the community know about. And hey, if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also check out the Split Second Discord that will be linked in the description below. And with that being said, I will see you guys in part 2, where I will unpack more stuff about the game that I believe you guys will like to enjoy and like to hear. Take care, everyone.